I gave this hustle everything I got. Always kept it real from the very start.
What's up, folks? My name is Loyal C, aka CJ, for those who know me. And today, I want to talk about my life. And this topic right here I'm going to touch on is something that lots of people can relate to. If you're not affected by it, you may know somebody that may know somebody that's been affected by it. And basically, what I want to talk about is sickle cell. Okay, first off, what is sickle cell? Alright, sickle cell is a blood disease where it affects your organs and affects everything, everything, your body. So, with sickle cell, everybody has blood cells, right? And blood cells are shaped like a donut. And if you have sickle cell, your case is different. You have your cells that are shaped like donuts, which is normal cells, and then the sickle cells are shaped as a half of a moon or a half a donut. Like, so picture a donut and then picture somebody cutting that donut in half. That's what a sickle cell is. And what a cell carries, like oxygen. This is what goes in. This is what flows in your blood. To help you breathe and everything. So your cell carries water, oxygen, and like some other stuff. So basically, if you have cells that are shaped like a donut, that means that everything that one actual cell carries, a normal cell carries, you're carrying half. Your cell is carrying half of that. So basically, like, I don't breathe or have the best amount of air supply uh, compared to a person that doesn't have sickle cell, right? So, how does sickle cell affect you? Okay, it affects your breathing. It affects your body function, and it can give you pain, right? And I get tired faster. Like, get out of breath. There's a lot of things that, like, I can do, but it's not to the best or my fullest capacity yet. Like, compared to somebody that I don't want to say normal, because I don't want to say that, like, that we're not normal. Like, somebody that has sickle cell is not normal, but like compared to a person that doesn't have sickle cell, right? So how does sickle cell affect me? All right, so because the cells that I have, all of them aren't shaped as a donut. So when it's flowing through your blood, it's like it's your blood flow. Like, you're supposed to have no. When you have a blood flow, like as we're speaking right now, as we're living, breathing, um, our heart is pumping blood in and out throughout our body, right? And then cells are inside your the blood flow, within the blood flow. Like, for a person that is a sickle cell, everything is flowing fine and everything is going cool. But a person with sickle cell, what can happen is, because our cells are shaped like a half a donut or a half a moon, whatever you want, a crescent shape, what happens is they get stuck to each other, right? Like this. So imagine two hooks getting attached to each other, right? So what happened is, so let's say one cell attaches to another cell, then it causes a chain reaction, and then what happened is more cells are sticking together, right? And suppose it happens like right here. My cells are flowing, and let's say like my forearm, um, the cells are stuck right here, right? They start to stick to each other here. What would happen to me is that I would start to feel pain. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like, you would start to feel pain. You will become like dehydrated, like and this pain that you have, it it varies, like the number, like the pain level, it varies from like a scale 1 to 10, right? And this pain can get so bad that it sends you to the hospital, and that's what your life will consist of, right? A person who's in and out of pain, the pain is like, we have a term for this pain, and it's called crisis. So when I'm, like, if I'm having pain, I would say, oh, I'm in a crisis. Like, I'm having a sickle cell crisis. Like, it's kind of like an attack. Like, somebody says somebody has asthma and they can't breathe. They have an attack. They have an asthma attack. So our term for sickle cell would be, I'm having a sickle cell crisis, right? And like, it would be so much pain. Like, it would be unbearable. Like, it is, like, I can't explain it. Like, like, people ask me, what does it feel like? I don't know. Imagine somebody, like, how I can explain it. Like, my pain sometimes is like, it feels like somebody's taking a nail and a hammer, and wherever I'm having pain at, it feels like somebody's hitting that nail into my bone. It's like, you can have it in your back, you can have it in your arms, you can have it in your legs, where you can't walk. You can it can attack you anywhere and anytime. Sometimes there's no signs. You could be sleeping and then they'll wake you out your sleep. Like, you're minding your business, having a good day, whatever. Like, it will attack you, and it comes whenever it wants, and it goes away whenever it wants. And because of that, you know, it caused you to go to the hospital, because like like there's pain medication that that we have to get on because of the pain. And I'm not talking about like um Advil, like Tylenol. Like, D is, the pain is so bad, like D, like, it cannot be controlled. The sickle cell crisis cannot be controlled with these pain medications. um Sometimes it can. It depends on the level of pain that you having, but for the most part, no, you have to go to the hospital for these things. And like, they're giving you, like, through, they're giving you IV, pain medication through IV, like Dilaudid, morphine, things that are super strong, like super strong, right? And you're getting it through your intravenously, through your veins, through an IV pump. Um, So you can imagine, like, that's what's supposed to. And then when you're in the hospital, you can be in the hospital like for days, weeks, sometimes months. Yeah, like, it's really that deep, right? And let me go back to the beginning. All right, so how do you get sickle cell? Okay, you cannot contract it if somebody like coughs on you, sneeze, or like trading like any like body fluids or anything like that, right? So like, it's not like contagious in that sense, like, like how like you can contract. Let's say how you can contract AIDS, HIV, or something like that. It's not like that, right? So basically, your parent, you have to get it. It's a blood disease, so it has to be passed on to you, And in my case, I got it passed on through my parents, right? So in your DNA or your genes, basically, like, let's say, all right. So in my case, my dad had sickle cell, right? Excuse me. And my mom, she has the trait. So, like, a trait means that, like, you don't have the disease, but you're a carrier for the disease. Meaning, like, let's say my mom, let's say, for hypothetically speaking, like, let's say my mom has the trait, right? And then let's say my dad had the trait, which is not the actual disease. They're both carriers. Them combining to have a child is a very high possibility that the kid will have it. And if the kid don't have it, the next child will have it. Like, it can skip, like, it will skip, but like, it's just, so basically, you have to be a carrier. So this is why it was good to get tested, like, because like, you don't want, honestly, like, sickle cell and just for anything, you don't have to be tested for sickle cell. Just test it, period, because like you don't want your offspring, to suffer it. You know what I mean? Like, and it's bad. So that's why it's always good to get tested, guys. Honestly, if you plan to have a family, because you can save lives and you can save a lot of heartache, a lot of time, um, stress and all that, because it will become very stressful depending on how bad the disease affects somebody. Like, will determine, like the outcome of how your life will be. Like, and honestly, like, it affects everybody that's around you. Like, um, like me having sickle cell, obviously it affects my mom. You know, it affected my dad. My dad got, rest in peace. He's not with us right now. My wife, my siblings. It affects us, like, because like, and I'm in and out the hospital, so they're worrying, so they gotta come see me. Like, you can't imagine how much it affects you, and you don't even have to have sickle cell. It's that serious, right? So like I said, let me go back and give you some history, right? So my mom is a carrier of sickle cell, who has a trait. She didn't know that, and my dad had sickle cell, and he he knew he had sickle cell, but like, um, when you come from like third world countries and things like that, like, you're not educated on these things, and this is where, like, if you want to start a family or whatever, like, you want to live the best life, you have to be educated on certain things that is affecting you, because it can affect anybody else. It can affect you down the line, like, in the future, right? So my dad knew he had sickle cell, but he wasn't educated on how it can affect him in the future, or his kids that he planned to have in the future with my mom, right? So let's say my mom didn't have sickle cell, right? And my dad had it, just my dad have it. Like, it'll be a possibility that I can have it, or I can just have it, like, just the trait of it. I'll become a carrier. But because my mom had the trait, she was a carrier, and my dad he actually had the full disease, I ended up having it, right? So I was 8 months when I was diagnosed with sickle cell disease, right? Um, they didn't know what was wrong. Like, I was at 8 months. As an infant, I was crying, 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 and they fed me, they changed me, they held me, they did everything that you would do for your baby if your baby was crying, so they can stop, and like, they couldn't figure out, like, what was wrong. And my dad even thought that I was spoiled or something like that. And then that's when my grandmother was like, "Well, you did all these things. You fed him. You held him. You did everything you can possibly do. The next thing to do is take him to the hospital. You never know." So they took me to the hospital. I was 8 months, and that's when they diagnosed me. They gave me a blood test and all that. They did, all the genetics and all that. And they come to find out I was diagnosed with sickle cell disease, right? So this been affecting me for a long time, my whole life, honestly, right? So the pain, I was 8 months, I couldn't speak. That's how bad it affected me. I mean, just crying. So, in excruciating pain. So now, depending on how bad this sickle cell is, you live in a hospital. Like, how people say, this is my second home because you be somewhere. Like, my home was actually my second home for as much as I was in and out the hospital. I was probably in the hospital more than I was home. So my home, as a figure of speech, was more of my second home. The hospital is where I honestly live, like, in and out the hospital. Um, Missing school, missing life, like, sickle cell is nothing to play with. Like it, and the reason why, like, it didn't mean, like, it made me feel like I wasn't normal, because I couldn't do things that normal kids can do, like kids that didn't have sickle cell couldn't do, like if I couldn't go in a swimming pool, like, it would have to be super warm, because the cold affects you. It affects your bones, and it can cause you to go into a crisis. Like, the cold is our worst enemy. Like, I couldn't go in a swimming pool. I couldn't play no contact sports. Um, I couldn't do a lot of things, and And it sucked because like imagine you as a little kid, you your doctor's telling you basically you can't go outside and play the way you want to play, you know, and it's just hard because it's like you a kid, you want to play, you want to live, like you know you a kid, like who's to say you can't play basketball, something that you like to do, you can't play football, you know, and like honestly, I can say sickle cell made me even stronger because I was not letting nobody tell me that I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. And there's a lot of times that I went and did certain things that they said I couldn't go do. Yeah, like I did it, but then like I would end up paying for it. Like I'll probably end up in the hospital. I'll end up in a lot of pain, you know, like a lot of pain where I had to go to the hospital. Like I love to go in the like who doesn't like to go in the swimming pool and it's very hot outside. Like you know, like you like to play ball, you like to do all these things, and that made me stronger. But you know, and being that I'm stubborn as well, like I was like, I'm not letting anybody tell me what I can't do because I'm not gonna let that define me. I'm not gonna let it define me. Yeah, it's a big part of my life, but uh, it can't just tell me. You can't tell me what to do. So I did what I want, and like I did karate, I did boxing, I played I was on the basketball team, and you know I wasn't no scrub. Like I you know I went swimming, and I just lived with the consequences if I had to you know like if I ended the hospital, like I would hate it, but like to me it was worth it because like I wanted to live my you know normal childhood like everybody else, you know. So like so sickle cell, you know like we call it like me and my brother we call it the monster, like oh yeah my brother has sickle cell too, and I have a sister that has sickle cell, and I also have two other siblings that doesn't have sickle cell. So sickle cell is funny like it skips like generation. I don't want to say generation, but it skipped every other child. And so if it's five of us, it went to every other child. Like I'm first, so I got it. Then my sister behind me, she doesn't have it. Then my brother behind her, you know, like and so on and so forth. But like sickle cell, you know, like sucks, and like that's basically like the back history, you know, of my life and dealing with sickle cell, whatever. Like I said, guys, like I don't let it stop me. Like I continue to live my life, and oh yeah, another thing too, like sickle cell it shortens your lifespan. So like imagine the doctor telling your parents, your mom, and you hearing this that you're not gonna live past the age of 14. Like so, imagine you hearing these things as a child. Imagine what it could do to you mentally. Like what it would do to you. You know, like it really like you can't. You're not supposed to live a long life with sickle cell, and that's just the honest truth. Like I wasn't supposed to see the age of 14 according to the doctor, but at the end of the day, guys, I don't let nothing stop me, and God is the real doctor because God has the last say. And that's what that's what I always say, and I'm gonna live by that because it's a fact. You know, like you know, like, I'm not saying to listen to the doctor, but at the end of the day, God has the final word, and that's all I'm saying to you guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it, it's sickening, you know, like, but you can't sit there and like feel bad for yourself. You gotta live your life, you know, because life is already short as it is for a person who doesn't even have sickle cell. It's already short, right? So my advice is just continue to live your life. You know, like live it to the fullest. Honestly, do what you dream to do because you never know, right? And that's like the advice I can give to somebody was to ask me for advice. I mean, like I'm not no how can I say it? I'm not no person. I'm not a person that's a professional on like what I mean like how to live with sickle cell or what you should do. Like I'm just taking it a day at a time. Um, like try to stay healthy as much as possible. Like I'm not the best at doing that. You know, you gotta eat healthy. You know, like a lot of things that you're supposed to do. Like you know, if you want to live a healthy. So for sickle cell, like there is a cure, but it's not a cure. Like, oh, you take some medication and then like it's supposed to cure you. Like, if that's the case, then everybody will be cured from sickle cell. Like, it's a process. It's a hard, very 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 hard process. Um, you have to be, I don't say qualified, but the doctor has to approve you, you know, in certain steps before you even eligible to get, I mean, like, to be cured, because like you have to find somebody that has a match of your bone marrow and things like that, and with the cure, it isn't even guaranteed that you're gonna be cured. Like, I think it's three outcomes, right? You can get cured, right? Or you will still have sickle cell, or you can possibly die from it, right? So um, it's a scary process, you know. Like, but if you have sickle cell, like what I can tell you guys is like, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Trust me. I know it's hard. Live your life, you know. Continue to live your life as best you can. Follow your dreams. Like, it sounds cheesy, but honestly, you just live your life, yo. I mean, like, just live it, because don't sit there and watch the clock and sit there like, oh my God, and feel bad for yourself, because like you're not gonna get nothing done. You're not gonna get nothing done, and like it's just like then it's gonna seem like you kind of wasted your time, you know, because you can't get that time back, guys. You won't be able to get that time back, and that's what sucks about it. Like, you know, sometimes you wish you could rewind life and all that, and whatever, right? But just live your life, eat healthy, drink a lot of water, because I know water is your best friend, and water is good for everybody. Like, you don't have to have success. It's just good for everybody. Like, so if it's good for a person who's in success, imagine how helpful it can be for us, right? And like, I'm not no saint. Like, I drink a lot of water now more than ever than I used to do before. But like, I like this, like, juice and all this stuff that's bad. You know, like juice and soda. Like, that was my thing. Like, and I still love juice. Don't get me wrong. Like, my wife, she gets on me. You know, like, a lot about that. But yo, you know, like, but I don't want to make this video too long, right? I'm trusting, believe I'm gonna have a lot of more videos, and I want to, you know, like, get personal with you guys and show you, get in, you know, like, into my personal life as far as like sickle cell wise, and show you how it affects me and like the people around me, you know, and I want you guys to stay tuned, you know, like I won't let you guys down, and just follow me on my journey, you know, and it's Loyal C, and I'm back with another banger. You know, as always, like I said, this is a real life page. I mean, like, and I want to put my life, my real life, on. I want to share it with you guys. Um, share my life with you guys, and I can't wait to make more videos for you guys. Please like, you know,
I
comment,
gave this hustle
subscribe,
everything I got.
share, most of all.
Always kept it real from
And,
the very start.
I'm out.
Niggas ain't thorough like I always thought. Damn, the game left me with a heavy heart. The streets left me with a heavy heart. Niggas say they with you when they really not. Niggas plot on everything you got. The streets left me with a heavy heart.